You're watching part 10 of the Jetskibrothers V8 jet ski build. Buckle up, it's gonna be a heck of a show. Here's that awesome gear case that Jacob machined out for me, and this thing is pretty darn cool, but we do need to get it mounted up to the engine. We are going to be working on that today, and we'll be attaching the gearbox to the engine in a similar fashion to how a transmission is mounted to an engine. But since this is a custom gearbox, we're going to have to fabricate our own bell housing or mounting bracket setup to get this gearbox attached to the engine. One of the keys to making this work is making sure that the output shaft from the engine is nice and straight coming into the gearbox. So this output shaft needs to be nice and straight with the crankshaft, so we can't have run out of the shaft when the engine is spinning. That's just going to destroy things in the gearbox. And clearly it's a little bit of a loose fit here, so I can't just, you know, eyeball guessing and go for it. Jacob stepped in again with some more cool stuff, and he's got a bushing to go into the crankshaft, another bushing that's going to fit into the flywheel or the extension adapters here. That way the shaft slips in nice and tight before we weld it to the adapter here. Jacob just kind of built these things real quick for me, so I need to do a little bit of machining on this one. And he said, you know, I could easily do the backyard machining to basically cut this end off. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. A little bit of quick making sure that this thing fits. Perfect. Just gotta mark this out so I can cut it to the correct length so it can fit properly between the engine and the gearbox. All right, I'm not saying that what I'm doing to cut this shaft down to size is safe, correct, or right, but it is the thing that needs to happen, and these are the tools that I have to get the job done. Certainly don't recommend this technique to anyone. Jacob did an awesome job machining those bushings. They were the exact size to slip in, but there's absolutely zero, I mean zero slop. I'm using a dial indicator to measure the straightness of the shaft in relation to the engine when it is turning over. And it is very important to get this perfectly straight. It is something I will be keeping an eye on during the welding process of welding this part to the engine. Hey Milo, should we do some welding? Are you excited to wear this thing? You ready to put on the helmet? Making a slight adjustment before welding it up permanently. Hey Milo, how'd you like welding? I've been stopping to check the run out on this thing every time I do another little weld, just to try to get this thing perfect. And I was really hoping to get it within 5 thousandths or 5 thou, and I'm very surprised that it turned out with less than 1 thou of run out on the shaft. So I'm very pleased about that. What do you think, Milo? My wonderful wife asked me, why don't you just use L brackets to mount the gearbox to the engine? And the reason for that is because we need to clear the flywheel, and the flywheel would just hit the L brackets. So that's why we have kind of the cutouts on there, and the bit of a triangulation shape is for strength. The cutouts are to clear the flywheel. The triangulation shape is for a bit of added strength. Worked late into the night last night welding up the gearbox to the engine, and today I'm going to do a little bit more on the welding on this. I got to put a few more pieces in. One thing that's kind of hilarious is that I put this sort of aluminum thing on the ground to keep it from like having hot spatter on my wood floor here in the garage. And it may have helped slightly, but obviously the really hot sparks were burning right through that, so I'm going to put something else down there that's going to help more. And the rest of this plating is for reinforcement to make it extra strong. A transmission that would normally bolt up to an LS engine will be much too large to put into the jet ski. It would in fact hang out of the back of the jet ski, and we don't need all the gears that you would normally have in a car transmission. Car transmissions normally have 5 up to 10 different speeds in them, or gears, and we really don't need that. We just need 1 gear for 1 gear ratio. So we have a very, very small transmission that we need to mount to this engine. And like a transmission, we are basically fabricating up a bell housing for it, which is how, car manufacturers mount a transmission to an engine. But this is a custom gearbox, so we got to do a custom bell housing to get it to mount up properly. The gearbox would be useless if it wasn't mounted to the engine, because then the engine would just spin it round and round and round, and we don't want that. We have to have it nice and solidly mounted so that we can transfer all the power from the engine into the jet pump unit. welding the backside of the bell housing for added strength. Jacob's here,
I am here.
and he's got his Kramer shirt on today.
Yep, because we're huge Seinfeld fans.
So this is the last piece of the puzzle right here. You would have seen me just cutting this like on the drill press and crap. I was just holding the part in my hand, but this is how I built it. I had to cut some threads into the shaft, and I was trying to do it with a pipe wrench. Cutting the threads, trying to use a pipe wrench, that did not work at all. So let me come up with something a little bit different here. I just welded some of the old dry shaft onto the thread making nut. We're gonna put the shaft into the gear and cut them threads. And by the way, this is a spare gear. This is not the one that will be used in the gearbox. And in actuality, Jacob had to redo it because it turned out bad when I did it.
And I screwed it up and then I had to redo it. So, yep, that's how it goes. Used it in this, and this, and I loved it, and it worked great. And I was like, oh, it seems actually a little more compelling than the blue story. I do like the blue reason to use it.
I like that blue reason. That's a good one. I was actually kind of thinking about filling it up with sand just because people were like, no oil in the gearbox, what the F?
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be funny to just kind of fill it up with sand just to get some people triggered.
Yeah, because we're all about grinding people's gears.
They really
Yeah,
don't.
them bearings, they slip in too easy.
You really don't.
If you have to get those out, whew, you might actually have a good time. Yeah, I kind of...
See how easy that slips in there? It's such a, just slides right in.
Power glide. Some people think it'll matter, and some people don't. Yeah.
Like, we get it. If it was too loose, it would spin the bearing. That is true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess some of the people that watch this are like engineers over at Toyota, and they're like, yeah, man, that stuff wouldn't fly over here. And I'm like, well, yeah, man, but we're just a bunch of hobos in a shed. We did it the way we wanted to do it, okay? Just believe us when we say that. And Also, we are going to have oil in there, and the reason that we didn't put the drain hole in is because I didn't have time to do it, and I didn't know where was going to be out of the way, because you don't want to put your little drain hole like right behind the drive coupler where you can never get to it, because that would be a tragedy because it wouldn't work. They're never going to know the difference. That's just like any jet ski. How about that?
If you want us to put the engine into the ski, go ahead and vote. How do they vote?
Give us a thumbs up.
And then make sure to watch this entire video at least once.
Yeah, and if you have questions, just watch the video to fact check it for if we answered your question or not.
We're gonna go on faith that you guys voted yes for putting the engine in.
That's what this is. We're gonna take a step of faith and back it up with some action. If you drive this thing with the seat and handlebars bolted up, it'll sink.
Yep. That's just it.
The engine mounting plates are wide and they do not fit in here. We're gonna cut the plates so that we can mock this here engine up in the hall. Okay? And we're figuring this out just at the time that we decided to get the camera out. So this is before your own eyes that you will see what's going on.
Wait a minute, we're gonna do that on camera?
No.
Okay, good.
This looks sucky, isn't it?
Yeah, I like to wear a face mask when I'm grinding aluminum, but it instantly fogs up any glasses or goggles, so it's like, do I want to like not see and like cut my hand, or do I want to like not breathe it in? So I just try to hold my breath.
Yeah.
I don't think it works that good though.
In the fog of the night, it's already kind of foggy, and then you got the aluminum dust in the air. Doggone.
Definitely panning over the G.
It's perfect.
Great.
Yeah!
The engine is set in there. Clearly the hull is not all the way closed because the motor plates have to be trimmed in the upper section to allow the top shell to clamp down to the bottom shell.
I just want to tell you guys, alright? First of all, V8 jet ski, you know, better drop what I'm doing.
Okay.
4 straight cut gears, all in mesh. This thing's gonna sound epic. Note to self, never underestimate a bro that wears a leather coat with sweatpants. Yeah. Gearbox looks amazing. Love Miko tool. Where are you gonna put the oil filler? Why didn't you put an oil filler in there? This one says, you're gonna run that thing without oil? And another one, wait, how are you gonna put oil in there? And where's the drain and the fill?
We're gonna put all that stuff in with the dry sump.
Yes. Let's see.
We're gonna dry sump the gearbox.
You know, You know, it's hilarious that I don't even care about jet skis and having never ridden one before, but I love watching engineering and American V8 videos. Laugh out loud. Looking forward to the updates. Oh, thank you very much, 2 cents. What a guy. Round of applause for that guy. Thank you. A lot of guys on here saying, good job machining the gearbox, Jacob. No problem at all. Thank you for liking it, I suppose. And the only thing that gets me to wake up in the morning is the praise of other people. And if you guys slander my name, I will have no self-esteem and I won't be able to move. So thank you for all the kind words. See, that video was unreal. Keep it up. Great work, lads. From iRob. Chris Glassy's always impressed with Jacob's work on the gear housing. Awesome. All right, this guy wanted to see a video of us doing this, and so we did it. Glad you get to see it. We need to grease the inside of the gearbox so there's not too much friction. Well, hopefully some oil will do the job.
Or sand. I'm thinking of filling it up with sand.
What color?
Just
I'd say blue. What do you guys think? Yamaha blue or Ford blue?
Ooh, guys, what should we name this thing?
Yeah.
I think about this every time I'm not making the video. What should we call it? I'm like, man, I should have said something in the last video. What should we name this thing, guys?
Yeah. And do you guys think that this will set a faster lap time than the other big one, the Interceptor 1.8 liter GP 1200R?
Yep.
Will this thing be too fast for that little of a track? I think it'll be really scary trying to finish this thing and, you know, finish out your lap and stop before ramming it into the weeds.
I predict some very cautious finish line crosses.
Yeah, Josh might have to get a parachute on the back of this thing for doing finish lines.
I think at some point, the like big dog gnarly skis, the super fast ones, we'll have to like, I don't know, like have a different track and like open water for them or something because, yeah.
Too big, yeah.
But I guess that's part of testing it on our weird little track is the danger factor. So I don't know.
Yeah, hey, well on the little of a track, a triple swapped wave blaster might have a chance against this thing, so.
The triple swap wave blaster, I can tell you right now, it runs a flat 40-second lap time on a track, which is quite fast.
Yeah, but what would it do if that 1200 had a Riva built ported? If we put the Riva 1200 in there, it might be a little bit faster. Just think if you put a modded, yeah, what? Looks good. It'll all work out. You're gonna lose a bunch of friends during this build, but they'll all be back when she's running. Thanks, Donovan White.
I think maybe he's talking about when we like make fun of the people who don't know anything.
Yeah, well, you know what, Donovan? We're glad to know you're on our side, I guess.
And we're not making fun. We're having fun.
Come on, don't you guys Come on, don't you guys go to the bar and make fun of your friends anyway?
Like,
I thought you guys would like that.
When your buddy says something stupid, don't you give him crap for that?
Yeah, come on. Big V8 and small jet boat make powerfully.
Lost in translation there, I think.
Chimeri Stiggers.
I would guesstimate he's trying to say put the engine in the jet boat.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you don't know. We got guys from like Argentina watching these things, guys from the UK, guys from all over. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes the English doesn't always cross over, which I get it, man. I only speak English, so what do I know?
Yeah, and no disrespect on that end. Like sometimes language crossing makes for weird talking.
Yeah, sometimes you use like the little translation Google thing, and then you slap the comment in so we know what you're saying. Maybe it doesn't do a perfect job. I'm just thankful that you do that. Somebody doesn't know how we're gonna drain the oil. Yeah, me neither. I mean, I kind of do. Let's see. Vent hose coming out of the top of the thing. Vent. Here's the thing. Do rear ends out of cars have vents?
Yes.
So that one could need a vent if a rear end out of a car needs a vent.
Well, right, it'll have a vent. It's not gonna be a problem. It'll be fine.
Okay. Some people are worried about our bearings that slide in too easily, and you know, whatever. Cool. Maybe it'll matter. I don't know. Terry Kenyon. wanted to say that I recommend running Mercury High Performance Gear Oil. It's blue. That was what I was thinking of. Thanks, Terry. That's actually...
I do like that. That's funny and it's great.
Yeah, really. When we dump the oil in there, if we use that and we remember, we'll say your name when we do it on a video. We probably will forget, but we might not. Let's see. Quite a few people worried about them bearings going in easily. What CAD software? Somebody wanted to know. We did it in Feature Cam. Glad to see this isn't one of those channels that says they're gonna build something and then falls off the map and doesn't complete the build for years. Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, right? I would want to see this thing done.
If you've been with us for a while and seen some of the old stuff, you'll know about how long it takes us to do a project.
Yeah, a lot of our crap that we've done in the past hasn't worked out very good, but you know, whatever.
Of course, this is kind of a major undertaking, so I could see why you might think this one would take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you think about it, we've been making pretty fast progress. For the thing that this is to build, we've been doing it pretty darn fast. If I ever see a Spanish comment on here and I want to know what it says, I got to go find the translator and I'll look at it. And usually it's pretty thoughtful, so it's pretty nice people.
Let me take my nerd glasses off. For this, the exhaust manifolds, I'm outsourcing that to JSB North over in Canada. Actually going over to the Joel Arsenault channel.
Oh yeah?
He's building us the exhaust manifolds for this. It's Joel Arsenault. And I'm sure he'll have a comment in the comment section, so you can just click on his little icon, head over to his channel, and if you see a whole bunch of X2 videos, then you know you're in the right place. And I'm not saying he has that video done right now, but he will be doing it in the future, so definitely go over and check him out. Make sure to subscribe to his channel so you can make sure to see the exhaust manifolds getting built when he does that.
Pretty cool. Joel's the man. If you guys want that gearbox to be as quiet as possible, trust me, you do with those straight cut gears. You might want another set of bearings and run the box and stupid cell phones and gears with some lapping oil just to get them meshing perfectly. Just run the drill press and yeah. Well, you know, I'm not saying we will or won't do that.
My thought is if we want it as quiet as possible, we could put some like Dynamat on the bell housing. That would probably quiet it down.
I've been in cars where the rear end is like totally blown out and it's loud as heck, and it like makes your ears and head want to explode when it's resonating inside the car. But I would think that with your head being out in the open air where you got that wind going past all your ears, I don't think that'll be too bad. It'll probably whine, but like, and you know, hopefully the gearbox doesn't blow up, which, you know, you never know. Still waiting to see the 4 turbos and 12 NOS energy drink bottles. Looking forward to it though. Ah, yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
That's some good humor right there.
I'm
also,
thinking
maybe we'll do that.
Dude, flip up the seat in your car, and then under the seat you got the 4 NOS bottles. The guys ahead, then, too soon, Junior. Psst, wah. Be awesome. Let's see, the gearbox is gonna be loud. Yeah. Hopefully it's loud in an interesting sounding way, not annoying. Let's see. How will we keep the gearbox cool? Well, right now we're gonna dump oil in there and hopefully it'll be cool enough. Yeah, maybe it will melt a hole through the ski or something. I don't know. It might not. Maybe it'll be fine. You never know. A lot of people worried about our bearings. Yeah, it might blow up. I mean, who knows?
But it'll sure be a heck of a show when it happens.
Yeah. Let's see. A couple of people wanted me to make something for them, and I'll tell you, I don't really want to. I mean, unless you're Jeff Bezos and you're gonna pay me like $1 million. Rick M says the gearbox is gonna sound like a supercharger. Some people think it's kind of weird that we're into that Megadeth song. It's the song from Steel Roots. Come on, Jeremy McGrath.
Some people don't know.
It's on just YouTube. Look it up. Pretty good 90s dirt bike video. Some guy had the idea of water jacketing the the gearbox to cool it down. That's a good idea. I might have done that if I thought of it.
Well, that's something that could be added if we find that it's overheating.
Why would anybody want to stuff an overweight V8 Chevy small block into a 10-year-old used up discarded Yamaha jet ski? Oh yeah, it's bad. And that's how we determine the boys from the men. Oh, well said, Patrick Rolfe.
That was a good comment. I really enjoyed how he threw us off the scent, and we thought that he was saying we were idiots at first. And at the end, he brought it all full circle.
Yeah, a lot of people not liking the whole thing, like how easy the bearings went in, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, well,
too bad.
I did use one of those bearing spin meters, where you stick it in there, you put like the meter on there, and then it measures the foot-pounds of torque to spin the outer race on the bearing. And I can tell you that it's well within the spec for this particular project.
Oh, the Deltronic Newton meter? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Jacob.
We looked at the chart that was from the AS6900 spec sheet. It's the same one Toyota uses, and it's great. They ended up even better than what they use in the Lexus LFA. So,
and we're using like electron-based bearings, so actually the steel is a little bit more coated in the correct direction to spin properly.
Yeah, the friction's not going to be not even going to be not going to think about that. So, nothing to worry about.
Anyway, I think that's it. We're done.
Yeah, bye.
Give me 5, buddy. Give me 5. Yeah, good job.